Welcome to the Edge of NFT podcast with your hosts, Jeff Kelly, Ethan Janney, and Josh Krieger. We aim to bring you not only the top 1% of what's going on with NFTs today, but what will stand the test of time. We explore the nuts and bolts and the business side, but also the human element of how NFTs are changing the way we interact with the things that we love. This podcast is for the futurists and dreamers, the disruptors and creators, the fans and connectors, and the makers and doers that are pumped about this ecosystem and driving where it goes next.
There we go. Millennials and Gen Z are planning to spend thousands on cryptocurrency, NFTs, and metaverse land as holiday gifts. Yeah, very interesting. I mean, it's so interesting also just imagining what the receiver, listen, I've heard it said that if you were to just go pick what's on people's Amazon wish list, right? That those are the best gifts to give. Like, don't get creative. Like, pick what people want. So I can see that if somebody wants, cryptocurrency, NFTs, metaverse land as a holiday gift, go for it. But if you're the person who's obsessed with it and they're kind of gonna be obsessed with it, but not for a year or two, I don't know. You might get some funny looks.
Have you heard of folks doing that within the Sandbox, Sebastian?
Gifting NFTs, I think I heard a few stories. Yes, buying for the kids, as some like already preparing, saving property, and you can leverage that in the future. Training the younger generation, etc. Wedding, yes, that's we have some here and there people who want to do these kind of things too in the metaverse. That's really interesting. And what it tells is like essentially we're becoming a place where those social interaction can happen. At the end of the day, if NFT is helping to bring people together through this the ownership and the fact it creates community of owners, that's great. That's what we're looking for. But what's interesting with this new generation, and we are less, I guess we're all 30 and above here, like we still grown with a culture of like, oh, I need to own that book, that marble, those trading cards physically. But they don't, like they're born with like iTunes, Netflix. They don't care about owning the DVD anymore or the special collector. They only care about like the digital content. And so it's going to be a big shift in the next decade and more when like the majority of population is more attached to like digital goods, and they will have the same kind of feeling, joy, really attached to those than physical one. And it's cool because actually the kind of thing you see as NFT art, etc., like they are definitely more fun than my card that did nothing on screen. It was just like flat and could just, oh, I own it, but doesn't move, etc. Versus all those things they can play around, etc.
Yeah, so in a way, interesting. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, the value system between the different generation is interesting, and we're definitely going toward a world where like the digital economy will represent and overbalance the physical world economy, which might actually be great for the future. Like technology could help for an even more sustainable future. We'll produce less goods that become perishable, etc. We are developing content that creates opportunities for people to connect specifically in a hard time. Like I cannot imagine that generation of students that went through 2 years of COVID and couldn't connect socially. Those very first connection that's so important as they begin their job life. And their job life, like they meet nobody into social life, etc. So all of that will have a profound impact on society as well. And that can be a long topic to debate. But I do think we have a role to play in this, and NFTs, metaverse can do that.
So definitely, maybe one for us to talk about at NFT LA in February during your keynote, Sebastian. How about that?
Totally
Sounds good to me.
You know, just one more thing on this topic, which I'm just thinking of, maybe foreseeing an evolution of digital souvenirs, right? Uh, I've been getting souvenirs from my 4-year-old when we go to these conferences in Miami or New York and things like that. And it's interesting just the process of it because they're a kid, you give it to them. Like most exciting thing is just opening it, and then they like lose it or something, right? And so there's that aspect of things, like a digital item's kind of interesting. You can have the opening process be even more exciting, but also there's that interesting concept of maybe an item that you can only purchase, like an augmented reality type of experience where you can only purchase it by being in a location. It's affiliated with the location and the culture there, but you are able to sort of export it, right, and bring it home and share it with somebody. So we'll see if
Uh,
tech goes that way, but I think that could be kind of cool.
You should talk with Pierina from Flick Play. I believe that she's building something very cool around like digital asset that gets unlocked only if you're to a special area, or then as NFT could be purchased from secondary market from other users.
What is it called? Flick Play?
Flick Play, yes.
Okay, very cool. We'll
Amazing.
check it out.
Sky's the limit there.
Did you want to do another hot topic, Jeff?
Yeah. Let's do the next one.
All right, excellent. Let's hit it. Next one is General Catalyst has led a $7 million investment in AR startup selling NFT Jetpacks. So after months of NFT mania and Facebook's recent name change to Meta, fair to say metaverse chatter has reached a fever pitch. And while crypto investors are buying up avatars and digital swaths of land in hopes the digital universe will spring up around these projects, it's unclear which projects, if any, will stand the test of time. And of course, this is a story also. This is about Jadu, right? Who we've had on the show, and so they've taken a leap here and made some big investment in that. Of course, we met the founder of Jadu, a super smart guy, and there's clearly a lot of potential there. But it's also a big investment, $7 million.
Yeah, I guess they also had their hoverboard sale, and that did very well. I think they sold that out here. I think it was last weekend. So they did very well with that. It's awesome to see. So Asid Malik, who's the CEO, was telling us all about the interactions here, and it's really fun. It reminded us a lot of what like Pokemon Go was, right? But just at a whole new level. And when you see some of the demos and really how this can be a lot of fun, and what it can become just in terms of an entertainment experience is pretty awesome. But then when you take it to the next level and you really think about the opportunity for people to earn or find or win valuable NFTs in places where the value of that NFT really moves the needle for them, then you realize, wow, there's another layer to this thing. There's a socioeconomic impact of what their vision is as well. That's super cool. It harkens back to a lot of what you were saying before, Sebastian, of really the impact of what is happening in the space on the world in a really meaningful way.
Sebastian, do you have familiarity with the Jadu Jetpack brand, and have you had any interaction with that?
Obviously, yes. And the main reason is like those jetpacks. The first free jetpack will built with VoxEdit, the 3D editor of Sandbox, and they will have utility in Sandbox as well, like showing true interoperability of NFTs. The overboard as well, like they created an overboard for Snoop Dogg, and you can see Snoop Dogg avatar and the overboard both made in VoxEdit again, like the 3D editor of Sandbox, in AR. And I think it's really it's a great way already to make NFT fun to see and to interact with from a mobile phone. That's one utility among many others. And this is just one of the first, based on the roadmap and plan I'm aware of, like I cannot say more, but it's just one way to get people into NFTs. And from there, they will have many more interesting things to offer to those users.
Yeah, fun stuff. Really looking forward to it. We may have a couple jetpacks and hoverboards ourselves, so you may see us out there floating around in the world of Jadu soon, and in Sandbox.
Yeah, I mean, this is also something that was inspiring earlier when we talked about making a place for people to create things. And I do, there is some level of, I don't want to call it disappointment, but maybe that's what it is when you say, wouldn't jetpacks be cool, wouldn't hoverboards be cool in the real world, and then we're just kind of making them in a digital world, right? And that's kind of how we manifest our dreams about what's possible in the real world. Of course, there's projects there's flying cars and all kinds of cool things going on in the real world as well. But on the counter side of that, what's interesting is people actually using the metaverse as a way to let their imagination run wild, and then actually translating that into the real world, right? And we saw that when we did interview folks from Blaze Games and the Gutter Cat gang when we were in Miami. They took the sort of virtual experience of gutter cats that they had imagined, and they took this warehouse and basically converted it into like a gutter cat world, right? So that's clearly going to be a really cool way that metaverse allows for things to happen in the real world that are literally unimagined. Excited about that.